Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in this week to This Georgia Clay. So in this week's vlog, we are preparing another stage or another area of our home for sale. We are finishing up the finished basement area that we finished last year, if you guys saw that. Or if you missed out on that particular series, we'll make sure to link it in the description. However, this area has really been neglected, should I say. We need doors. As you can see, we need baseboards. We just need to finish this area out. And with us being motivated to sell our home next year, we definitely want to finish up this space. So therefore the new buyers don't have to come into unfinished areas. So in this week's vlog, we are putting in Matt's barn door. I absolutely love his door. It is a stainless black door. We got it from, I believe it was Lowe's. It was a great deal, so I'll make sure to share that information with you guys. Again, linking it on my LTK page if you guys would like to shop the look. But let's go ahead and get into this week's vlog.
All right, here it is, guys. Here's my door I ordered from Home Depot. Initially, I wanted like a metal barn door that was more closed at the bottom, like you can see in this picture right here. But one thing I would share that the door I ended up getting is a 6-panel all glass door right here that you can see for $279 from Home Depot. What's crazy is when I searched metal black barn door, this door didn't actually come up at all. So it's kind of crazy, like how you have to sometimes look where stuff is buried a little bit, because this door for $279 compared to the door that I wanted originally, which was $500, but for this price I just went ahead and I pulled the trigger, ordered this door. You can't beat that deal anywhere. So needless to say, this is a door that I went with. So I went ahead and ordered it. It came pretty quick, I'd say like a week or so. But I got everything unpacked, and then it was time to go ahead and get started on the construction process. So a little part of me was a little afraid that maybe something would be cracked, but no, everything actually arrived in really good shape. The door is actually really nice in person. So I think the picture doesn't do it justice, but if you are in the market for, a barn door, you're looking for something that's metal, not necessarily one of those like shiplap looking wood barn doors, this is a really good option. And there's this company actually makes more than one style. So if you need something a little bit different, if you want frosted glass, Home Depot has all those options for you. So just something to keep in mind. But man, I swear I was taking pieces out of this box. The box, first of all, the box is not that big, but I felt like I was taking pieces out of here for at least an hour. Just piece after piece covered in styrofoam. And one thing I would say that the one downside to this door or this product is that the instructions are terrible. I would say even putting stuff from IKEA together, at least the pictures illustrate everything very detailed and the parts are all labeled, but this, no, not at all. The parts aren't labeled. It's literally just pictures saying how it's supposed to look when you put it up, but that's pretty much it. So you're kind of on your own. And I'll tell you about another problem I ran into later on. So like I was saying, the instructions were not that great. So I'm sitting there trying to study. I'm one that likes to try to understand the whole project before I start. But at this point, I'm getting frustrated. So I'm just like, forget it. I'll go ahead and just start and we'll figure it out as we go. quick tip for you guys: if you end up getting a door like this, keep in mind that it is made out of metal, so it's pretty heavy. This door weighs in at 81 pounds, so even holding it like this on my wrist was hurting a little bit. But just keep that in mind. You might need somebody to help you out, especially if you're lifting it up to take it into a different room. It is pretty heavy, so I barely managed by myself. But here are the instructions. That's basically all you're gonna see in the whole booklet, is like little pictures with arrows pointing, but it doesn't say like, you know, this screw is letter A, or like none of that. So you are on your own. You kind of have to use any experience you have to just kind of get through the project. It's finally time to go ahead and cover up this ugly, exposed door jamb. Making door casings and door jambs is actually really simple. You're basically just putting up boards, kind of like you've seen us do board and batten or wall trim, stuff like that. You're basically doing that for the inside of the door, so it's kind of easy to think of it that way. Anybody can do this. They make pre-made door jamb kits if you're not experienced, but ultimately we're just putting boards up to cover up the raw wood in the door frame, and then putting casing, which is on the outside, to make it look pretty. So there's tons of styles, tons of ways you can do it. Just pick what works best for you. The route that I went was just using 1x5 material, which is 4.5 inches wide, which was the perfect size to cover up the drywall and the 2x4 in between. So the size worked out nice, and it just worked out for what I was going for. So basically here I'm just cutting everything to my height and my top plate or top board for the width, and just getting those nailed up, making sure that they're as plumb as can be. So the top of my door frame wasn't where I wanted it to be, so I used a couple of shims nailed to the top just to bring me back to level, and that worked out pretty nice. So let's go ahead and get these boards up. So if anybody's wondering, the nail gun here you see me using, I actually have two. One is 18 gauge, which is usually what most people use, like for wall trim, putting 1x2 boards up on a wall. But this is actually a 15 gauge nailer. So the nails are a little bit thicker and they hold a little bit better into framing, which is what most people use for like door casings, baseboards, stuff like that. So if you were wondering, I wouldn't recommend using an 18 gauge nail in like door casing, stuff like that, just because it's not that durable over the long term. But these nails are really strong, so they'll hold everything together, you know, when you're repeatedly opening and closing the door, stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. So what you see me doing now is taking the combination square. I set it to 3/16 and then just made marks all around the door frame. That kind of helps me know where to set the board, like you see here. It gives me that reveal, the same reveal all the way down, you know, just to get it as clean as you can get it. But if you never noticed that before, yep, that's called a reveal. You can look at any door in your house and you'll see the same thing. Usually they go with 1/8, anywhere from 1/8 to 3/16. Just depends on what you're going for, but I'm just keeping a simple, craftsman, square modern look on all the door frames in this particular space. So that's what I chose to go with. So since I knew I was going with the barn door, I could be a little more intentional with the door casing. So instead of using a top piece, I just went ahead and put a whole 1x6 across the top that the barn door track would actually drill into. And what you see me doing here is because the barn door track has holes like perfectly placed every, I think, 16 on center. So if your studs aren't perfectly placed, you may not be able to actually drill straight through the barn door track into your studs. So in my case, that was the situation. So I marked all my studs and decided to actually just use construction screws to screw that top board into my studs. And then now that board that I put on the wall actually becomes my support for the barn door track. So hopefully that makes sense, but that's basically what I'm doing here. So you'll see me actually drill this whole top board into the wall, and then that should be strong enough to actually hold the barn door track, and I don't have to worry about the placement of the holes in the track.
Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging on myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah. You always make me feel like, oh yeah. You never leave my thoughts alone, yeah. You're the reason I'm going out of my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Giving we take, the love that we make, it's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging on myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah. You always make me feel like, oh yeah. You never leave my thoughts alone, yeah. You're the reason I'm going out of my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you.
So here's a little close-up of where I made my line all the way across, and then when we held the track to the wall, we just used a pencil to kind of mark the holes, and then that's how I knew where to drill, so we can go ahead and start getting those bolts attached. And for this one, I kind of had to look at the pictures and the instructions because it didn't actually tell you. So I just had to look at the picture of the door itself. But the fat part here goes against the wall, and then the bolt attaches into that to hold the track in place. Now it's time for the strength test. I'm a big dude, so I kind of use that as my test to where if something can hold me, then it can hold anything and stand the test of time. So, yep, we passed that test, so we're good. So overall, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, the difficulty of installing a barn door is probably like maybe a 7. Yeah, probably a 6 or 7. But not too difficult at all. Just kind of takes a little bit of patience, but you can do it if you guys want to install a barn door yourself. Totally doable. But it's time to put the brakes on. The whole kit does come with brakes, so you can install it exactly where you want the door to stop on each end. But it was pretty straightforward. There's little Allen screws on top. So as soon as you place it where you need it, just go ahead and tighten those 2 screws on top, and that will hold the door where you want it to stop at. So once I got all the hard stuff out of the way, I realized, oh, I need to do the other side of the door. So I went ahead and knocked that out. These are all 1x3s in case anybody was curious. But just 1x3s all the way around the top and the sides. And I didn't do any miters or anything. So I put the top board up first, make sure it was level, and then put the 1x3s on each side underneath, and I was ready to paint. Now, honest admission, I do not like painting at all. It's my pet peeve. Usually Brittany paints, but she was busy, so I went ahead and just knocked it out by myself. But I swear, I do. I'm just not a painter. I'm just not. I can build, I can be creative, but I just don't like to paint. So I went ahead and knocked this out as fast as I could, and went and laid down for the night.
All right, guys, so let me know what you guys think of his barn door. I am mistaken. I said that it was purchased from Lowe's. That's actually where my door was purchased. This was from Home Depot. So I absolutely love it. The quality is great. So we haven't put in the track yet. That is something that Matt's going to go ahead and do. But as of right now, we are focusing on putting in the rest of the baseboards. We also have to paint them before the track goes in to secure the door when it actually opens. But I love it. It definitely sets the vibe and tone. It goes with his style of his office. It again being that cool, moody, I don't know, studio vibe in here. However he wants to call it. I feel like it's like a little speakeasy. But I absolutely love it though. So let me know again what you guys think in the comments. It was a great deal on the door. I don't know if it's on sale as of yet or still on sale, but I definitely will make sure to link it in the description. Again, it'll be on my LTK page, but it's starting to look a little bit more like home. It's starting to feel a little bit more completed and finished. And I just can't wait to finish out this space so we can enjoy it for the remaining time that we're here. All right, guys, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.